So hello everyone and welcome back to FTRL for a brand new season of Formula Performance, so season 6 here at Bahrain. So I'll just go run through how Formula Performance works just in case anyone is new around here to FTRL. So basically Formula Performance is a championship based around the realistic car order of F1. So as you can see, you've got a range of different cars. So fastest cars obviously Mercedes, it goes down in order. So basically the fastest drivers go in the slowest cars. So basically the aim is to get everyone as close as possible basically on track, close time wise, lap time wise as they possibly can. So the slightly slower guys will win, the fast cars such as your Mercedes and your Ferrari and things like that. There's no Mercedes this evening, so Red Bull is the fastest, then I think it's Racing Point and then Ferrari. That's the grid order as in Codemasters at the moment. So basically that's how performance works. So as you can see, the reigning champion is Aaron, and he is in the Williams, and so is Scuba. So that just shows you the kind of guys you've got on the slower cars. Obviously Aaron's won it before, and so has FTRL Pagani. So Aaron's won it twice. FTRL Panda's won it twice, but he's not in performance this season, and Pagani's won it once. So two winners on the field again. We'll see what happens this season. Obviously there was a quite close run battle between City Posh Blue and Aaron in the last race, but it was kind of Corboy who was Aaron's main challenger last season for the majority. But we'll see how they all get on this evening. But yeah, that's how performance works basically. There's 10 weeks, 10 different tracks, and the car allocations vary every week based on where you finish. So if you finish really low down, say you're in the Williams and they finish last or second last or something, then you'll probably go up a car. So you might end up in the Alpha the next time, or something like the Haas something. So it all depends. It all changes week in, week out, depending on where people finish and the like, things like that. But Brescia Daddy's on an outlap at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on him. He's in the Ferrari. So it should be a lot of familiar names to everyone. Racing here, and everyone should be very familiar. I don't think there's any people that are just racing in performance this season. I think everyone should know who most of the drivers are. I've got Tom in the chat, who's in the Haas this evening. He's aiming for the low 27s, he says, because there's a rough ballpark. So yeah, I would expect maybe 26s, as Brescia Daddy's extremely wide, coming out of turn 3, 4. That'll be 4. Oh, and he's actually binned it in the wall. He's had a he's properly binned it and he's retired. He's got on the curb, and that Ferrari. Yeah, the Ferrari has been kind of nerfed a little bit. The Racing Point is now quicker than it in the game, as it should be. And yeah, Brescia Daddy's had a bit of a difficult start. Pagani has went into provisional pole. He's one of the first lap times, and a 27.3, only 1.5 times quicker in fairness than Aaron Taylor, which is a pretty good lap from him. Katamis is 27.9 in the McLaren. Wesker's popped himself up into what was P2, but it's now P4. City Posh Blue popped himself up into P2, and then T Smith on a very good lap, already into the 26s in the Renault. So that's a good lap. Yeah, nobody saw anything bad, don't worry. Not at all. Yeah, well, we have some work to do from this race in Bahrain. See how he gets on that. So let's start from the back. Scuba's popped himself, he's had a dodgy lap. Renault T Smith getting out of the way. Lennon on the lap, he's in the Alpha Tauri. White and black car of Alpha Tauri. Bit of a mid-pack car, low mid-pack car. It's not as quick as the McLaren or the Renault, which are the 5th and 6th, so it's not as quick as them, but I think it's 7th fastest if I remember correctly. So it's pretty damn, and Lennon's could be pretty quick on his day. I think he's set a purple sector too, so this could be a good lap. He comes to final corner nicely, gets on the power early, flat out towards the line. I've got a feeling this could be the fastest time so far. It's going to be close. It's just behind. It's 3 hundredths of a second behind T Smith, so it's just behind. It was very, very tight. So closely matched on pace there. Matman, is he on a flying lap? He's not. Matman invalidated his lap, so was VER Kelvin. Tom, he said he's wanting low 27, so he's coming towards the final corner now in the Haas car. The Haas is a little bit of a... can be a bit of a difficult car to handle in previous games. I'm not sure how it is now. He's run out of ERS in fairness, which is not going to help him. Popped himself into P8, Corbly's in P7, just behind his rival of last season, I think for the championship, who's in P6. So not far off each other, but a bit of a gap as Corbly has retired. Where is that? That looks like maybe Lennon. We can see on board. Yeah, he's you see him on the right. I'm not sure if he's hit the wall or if he's just retired, but he's on. See him on the right as you come into that very tricky downhill left-hand braking zone that everyone locks up on. So, not sure if he's just retired there or if he had a bit of an incident with a wall on the exit. But you can lock up there, but that was a little bit of an odd place to crash. Everyone should be heading out the pits now. Yep, everyone heading in for after the first laps into the pits now. They'll be coming out a couple more times. See if anyone can improve, but it's T Smith currently on provisional pole alongside Lennon, who we're on board with at the moment. City Posh Blue in P3. City Posh Blue could have won it last season. He very nearly did. But yeah, he had a couple of dodgy races, but I think he was probably, if he had those races would have been clean, it would have been City Posh's championship last season. So he's one to watch. He's quick and he can be consistent. Just needs to cut out those slight errors he made last season, and he'll be definitely one of the favourites, if not the favourite. Pagani is on an outlap at the moment. Now Pagani has, I think he's running no traction again this season. He has kind of transitioned to no traction. He used to run medium, but Sarsbury he's transitioned fully now to no traction. Obviously, Pagani's been a regular FTRL and F1 for years, so he's going to have to get used to running with no traction, as he's been used to running medium ever since he started playing F1 games. So. But he seems to be doing alright. I think it's just, he's got the pace now. He's got that pace. He straight away got the pace on no traction. But I think he's just been getting that consistency, because obviously it's alright being good over one lap on no traction, but it's the consistency you need in no traction, because obviously it's a lot easier to bin it than it is on medium traction control. But I'm sure he'll get there, particularly towards the end of this season. I think he'll really start getting some results together. We know he's got pace. He won the last GT championship, and he's won F1. I can't remember if he's won F1 championships other than performance. I know he's won 2 performance. Guys asking my top 3. If it wasn't for the incredible inconsistency of Lennon's performances in the history of F1, I don't know where to put Lennon. I think he could win it if he'd... Do you know what, I'll go for it. I'll go for Lennon to win. I'll go for City Posh second and Tom third. So Lennon, City Posh and T Smith. I want to see Pagani doing well on his no traction. And he's coming across the line. And there you go. Now, we said he's got the pace. And he's not... It must be said, he's in the Alpha Tower. He's not like he's in an extremely quick car either. And he's not far off T Smith, who's in the Renault, who's in a slightly faster car. So Pagani impressing straight away. But yeah, I'll go for that. I'll go for Lennon, City Posh and T Smith. What's yours, Guy? Anyone else get some predictions in the chat? Initially, I mean, the fastest guys in this division are Aaron and Scuba, but they're both in the Williams this evening, so yeah, they're going to be in for a tough evening. I was talking to Aaron just before. I think he's fully anticipating being in for a bit of a tough evening. VER Kelvin has once again invalidated. It's not going well for him. Max hasn't set a lap yet either, but he's on a lap at the moment. Had a bit of a, didn't use the full exit there of the penultimate corner. But nicely done in the final corner. Once again though, not using the full width of the track, and it doesn't look like it's going to be a particularly quick time. 27 point, actually it was a bit quicker than I thought it was going to be. It's popped in just behind Aaron. Aaron on a 27.3 on the Williams, he's improved. That is pretty much, I think, the limit of that car. I don't think there's going to be any more for Aaron to get out of that, to be fair. That's a very, very competitive lap time in the Williams. He can be very, very proud of that. Goy is going for City Posh Blue. A City Posh Blue Dog. T-Shrimp, which is T-Swift. Yeah, he's got a thing with prawns and shrimps and things. And Wesker for P3. Wesker, who literally, just as I've said that, has just popped it onto provisional pole on a 26.8. Now Wesker wasn't someone I didn't even mention, but he has got a hell of a lot of pace, and he's at 26.8 I think it is. But just one thing, the colour in the night time doesn't work. Well, yeah, 26.861. It's not the easiest to see that. Yeah, but he's just over half a tenth up on T Smith, who's only 300s clear of. That's actually now Casey Bernard, who's popped himself up 1,000 quicker than Lennon P3. Now Casey Bernard's someone who's rapidly improving, I think it's fair to say, and he's in the racing point. Now the racing point has had a significant boost on the latest update, which was a month ago, roundabout. To be fair, that's third fastest. Ferrari's still fourth fastest, which it shouldn't be, let's be honest. It's not the fourth fastest. As, oh my god, Scuba has literally just put it on provisional pole, at least for the moment, in the Williams round Bahrain. The Williams. Now, I'd just say that 27.3 from Aaron was a good lap, and Scuba has just beat that by half a second. A 26.8 in the Williams. That is, if he can stay near the top, if he can be in the front two rows, then, like, I mean, that's pretty insane, that lap time. I'm not gonna lie to you, that's a pretty impressive lap time. That set a marker down to the championship. Let's be said, that it really has. Now it's got very, very tight. All of a sudden, Katamise has popped himself up into P7, but that's a very, very, very tight top 8. It's covered by 0.3 of a second. The top 8. The top 11 is covered by half a second. That is crazy, crazy. Now, as I said, the aim of this is to get all cars as close as humanly possible on the track and makes it extremely entertaining. And so far, at least this evening, I don't think you can get much closer with the top 11. That's kind of what you see at Austria, roundabout. Kind of a really tight short circuit. No, it's not tight, but a really short circuit. Like a minute and 5, minute 4, something like that. But yeah, that's impressive around here. Performance certainly working at the moment. Kieran Trapp has set a 127.9, but that's on the medium tyre. So he's got an improvement to come. Matt Mann, I'm sure, has probably got an improvement to come as well. He's someone who has beginning to improve. Reggie Daddy obviously going to retire. VER Kelvin has had a bit of a shocker so far. He's on a lap at the moment. We'll go on board with him. Can't afford to invalidate him. Bahrain can be notorious for having quite a few penalties in it. Comes into turn 1, locks the front right, but you can get away with that. It doesn't really affect you much here. Just keeps you within the track left there at turn 2 on the inside. And now going towards turn 4. Locks up the front right again. You can once again, they'll get a bit away with doing that, going wide there. 28.3 for the first sector now. These fast corners, avoids the curb on the right. Once again, locks up a little bit on front right. Gets it nicely turned in. No, and then you've got the trickiest, probably the trickiest corner on the track. It's down her left hander, we'll see how he does. And then locks the front left this time, but gets it fairly nicely turned in. Not invalidated so far, so he's on for a lap at the moment. This is kind of his last chance here. Uses a lot of the curb on the outside before entry. Does that corner very nicely, then you get flat out, avoid the inside curb, the auto spin curb. Comes across now. He's only got two corners left. Nicely keeps from the track west. Very comfortable laps so far. One corner left. His teammate for this evening, Katami, stays out his way. Nicely done the last corner. Keeps from the track west. So he's managed to get a lap in. How good is this lap going to be though? It's not going to be pole position. It's going to be a 27.4 and it's popped him in P12. So now just over half a second covers the top 12. It's getting closer and closer and closer so far. Very, very tight all down the field. Now Kieran's on an out lap as well. I think he's out on the soft now. So that's genuinely, don't know if someone's going to obliterate the fastest lap or something, but this could be one of the tightest ever qualifyings, I think. Looking at the difference in the cars. One little mistake, losing a couple of tenths a second at this point in time. Like if say City Posh made a little mistake on that and they could have went 2 tenths quicker, you could be, instead of P8, you could be talking P3, so it's extremely tight. Scuba's on his out lap. Casey Bernard's on a lap. At the moment he was P4. He's a thousandths clear of Lennon. He's purple through sector 1, he's 18 thousandths of a second up on his time as he comes in out to the next right-hander. Long right-hander, and then come down to a very tricky corner. Let's see how he does. That's a useless camera angle, so we'll switch on board. Seems to do it alright. It's Max Def has even made it even. That's a ton of the Max Def on provisional pole so far in the Red Bull. 26.789. So there's someone else on pole now. Casey Bernard comes round. He's just over 10th up. He's purple again, and he's gonna get a little. No, he's not gonna get a little bit of slipstream there. I thought he might have got off a Lennon. Casey Bernard though, this could be pole position here for him. I think that's Lennon behind him that's going to get a slipstream down turn 1. He's kept it within the bounds as well. Katamis is retired from P8. Is this going to be provisional pole? Is going to be tight? It's not. It's P3. So makes it tighter again. Lennon is going to have a good slipstream down into. Oh, he's not actually. That's not Lennon. That's Pagani. Sorry, it's Pagani that's got that bit of slipstream. That wasn't. Who was that? It must have been an Alpha then. I thought it was an Alpha Tauri, but there we go. Oh, he's invalidated. He was on course for provisional pole there, and he's invalidated it. Oh, that's such a shame. Go on board with someone else. Wesker's a little bit up on his time. He doesn't need much in fairness, Wesker. It's extremely tight. It's Kieran Trapp now sort of on pole position. So the top 13 now covered by 6 tenths of a second. Wesker though is slightly up on his time. He's lost a little bit in the middle sector. Gets a nice exit though of the last corner, this penultimate corner. T Smith's not improved. City Posh hasn't improved. How tight is this? Last corner does it fairly nicely. He's going to come across the line. Now he has improved, but it's not enough to move him up anywhere. Casey Bernard hasn't improved on his lap. Scooper coming round now. Middle sector. Scooper on course at the moment for pole position. He's up on his time. This could be a monumental lap here from Scooper. He's got one corner left. As who is that? Lennon puts it up onto 26.5, puts it up into pole position. This needs to be a mighty last sector. I don't think it's going to be pole. It's not. It's going to be the front row of the grid though. For Scooper in the Williams. Lennon no. Went from him for the win this evening, and he might have just proved me right here. He's got pole position, but Scooper with a monumental effort in P2 in the Williams. I think it was half a second covering the top 11. There we go. It is. It's the top 11 is covered by just under half a second. Look how tight it is between P4 and P7 is covered by less than a tenth. 4 places, 4 drivers covered by less than a tenth there. Very, very tight. Look how close it is though. Can you see Bernard and Aaron 16 thousandths of a second. Scooper with. I mean, you can't ask for much more than that from Scooper. very nearly pole position in the Williams. Very, very nearly. Well, Aaron's done a fantastic job at the car order, and it's made it extremely close. He's done an excellent job of it this week, as he always does, in fairness. I've just seen a thing that's put in the Discord from Aaron about Scuba. I'm not going to repeat the language, but I think he basically called him something alien. But I'll not repeat that for the watershed. So, time for some night race to begin with. Pagani says you'll be lucky to finish. Pagani, you have the pace. You are for a very good lap there at the end if you didn't validate. Keep going. You'll surprise yourself, believe me. Right. So, formation lap time. Lennon leads off. On the formation lap. Scuba is going to be P2 in the Williams, and you've got Kieran Schrapp P3. Late lap from him. Ran the mediums to begin with, but on third place in the Ferrari. Max Steffen P4. Casey Bernard starts P5 in the Racing Point. Another driver massively improving recently. Wesker P6. Aaron's P7. Good position that from Aaron and Scuba. Both Williams in the top 7. Very impressive. T Smith, I think, is a lot quicker than P8. His initial lap was very quick. Same as City Bosch Blue and Pagani. All three of these were up there right at the very start of qualifying, but none of them really improved near the end of the session. Katami's first driver on free tire compound, and he's went for the hards. So Mattman is P12 and has also went for the hards. 13 to 15, Tom, Kelvin and Corboy all went for the mediums, and Bridget Daddy starting right at the back. We've seen his collision his first lap also on the hard. So 3 hard runners and 3 medium runners, 10 soft runners for the start of the race. Now, Katami's Mattman, one of those 6 could be the kind of buffer for the front guys near the start of the first pit stop. I'll go back on the position change. Now, hopefully, fingers crossed, that Codemasters have sorted this glitch out with the standings on F1 for league racing, because it's a bit of a pain in the ass, to say the very least. Because most of the time I know what's happening, but it doesn't help when you've got the leader shown in P11 and it just all shuffles about, and it literally can bring on blooming epilepsy. Jesus, it's just crazy. So hopefully that fixes. That's fixed, and this is the first race since this update. I think it just came out today, so we'll get to see as everyone starts lining up. Hopefully get a good camera angle, because currently all I'm facing is Lennon's car, which, as much as he's on pole position, I kind of want to see the rest. Obviously I'm not. I'm just going to have to deal with this, I'm afraid, guys. Are the lights coming on? Not yet. They are now. 5 red lights. Hammer away. Hopefully the camera angle switches. Scuba has a good start, and he's going to go down the inside. There's a Haas in the background that just swerved out the way, but Scuba's going to go down the inside for turn 1. Lennon's going to try and hold it around the outside. The standings on the left are working indeed. Whoop-de-doo. Lennon, no, still leads. He's managed to get back past Scuba there, round the outside. So Scuba filters in P2. Max Def in P3 still, and the Red Bull right on the back. You've got Kieran Schrapp, who has lost that place to Max. Wesker's up 1. Casey Bernard as I thought it was Pagani, but it's not. It's Katami's has had a spin at the background. Katami's down to P16 in the Racing Point. Tom down in P10 battling away with T Smith. He's going down the inside of T Smith at that really difficult corner as the Aaron nearly into the back of Tom there down in that left-hander. Corboy up 7 places. What a start from Corboy. up from P15 to P8. Bit of carnage at the start down the back of the field, but massive thank you to Masters for fixing the standings. Woohoo! We are back. Kieran Trapp is P4, still right on the back of Max Death, who's not been. He's dropping slightly off the back of Scuba, but he's still within touching distance. Lennon, no, he's going to have to defend, I think, possibly here. Scuba in the slipstream, obviously no DRS yet. Actually, for some reason, Lennon has disappeared down to P5. I don't know why, but it says Aaron's in the pits, and so is T. Smith. Must have been wing damage. Lennon is in the lead, but for some reason, it's still showing Lennon down the back. But Lennon is in the lead from Scuba. He's not down in P9, ignore that. It's the only one that's had a glitch so far. But he still leads. Aaron's came back out of the pits. Tom as well. I think the pit stops have messed up the thing on the left this time. It's starting to come back to normal again. Max still having to defend now from Kieran, who's right on the back of him. Oh, Max doesn't have the best run through as well. He's down the inside, and as you can see, he's passed already before the next left-hander. So Kieran up into P3 for this race. Lennon still leads though from Scuba in P2. Kieran in P3, and then you've got Max, Wesker, Casey Bernard is 6th, he's down one place. We'll shove on the tyres though for everyone. So good start from Cowboy, fantastic, from 15th up to 8th at the moment. But Scuba, very impressive so far in the Williams. Now that's properly put a marker down so far anyway. We'll see how that car is on its tyre wear, mind you. So it's not the best car, put it that way. So imagine its tyre wear's a bit shit, to put it bluntly. City Posh Blue is in P7 on the soft tyre, the Alfa Romeo. Championship contender last season. Went all the way down to the very last lap, and it went down to penalties in the end up for the side in P7. Cowboy, as I said, massively improving in P8. His teammate for this week is in P9. Pagani's P10, still going at the moment, so he's doing better than he thought. Aaron's saying his ERS is stuck in overtake. Okay, so it is. And is that a glitch with the game, or is your button stuck? That's odd. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll see what happens. Is this button stuck, or is the game glitched? Confused. What has caused the ERS stuck? That's the question. Now, Scuba on the Williams. There we go. Is he going to go down the inside? Yes, he's going to go down the inside at turn 1. Lennon gives him the room. Very respectful from Lennon, giving him the room. And there's a yellow flag in sector 2, and that is T. Smith by the looks of it. It is. Lennon has the inside line, so Scuba's going to have to go a long way around. He's going to go for a cutback, or is he going to try and hold around the outside? Lennon once again gives him the room, very respectful, and Scuba is now... Lennon's got the inside line. Scuba now has the inside line for the next corner. As they go side by side still. I think he's going to have to back out though. Scuba's still going to try and hold it around the outside. Kieran and Max have been able to close quite a bit with this battling. Good battle though. Very, very respectful. Very clean between both of them. Scuba though can't really find a way through yet. He's going to be closing again though. He's got DRS, but that straight's just not long enough. Both using the curb on the outside to get the best angle for the turn in for the next corner. As Casey Bernard has going side by side. He got past Wesker, but Wesker's going to try and come back at him. He's not going to be able to yet. As the turn around the penultimate corner onto the straight. Jump back on Boba Lennon and Scuba. What's happening there? It could be an overtake for the lead, I think, here. as the two behind have now got DRS, as you can see. But oh, Kieran Trapp has had an off, as I think Max may have nudged him off. As you can see though, Scuba is not managing to make an overtake. Wesker going back down the inside of Casey Bernard there. Easy overtake for him. And he's using his overtake as well, as you can see. Pagani's got down a few places. Aaron's still stuck in overtake. His ERS is completely broke as Pagani has come in for his pit stop. Yeah, it's completely broke. His ERS it's gone. Casey Bernard, what's happened to him? Oh, he's round, that's what. I saw he was moving down places. Where's that? Is that... Oh, that's just... Oh, God. The Catamese is trying to go down the inside and Casey Bernard lost wing. Now that to me, on the position, it looks like he's went side to side with Wesker through that kind of S section just after the first sector, just as the first sector ends. And it looks like there's been a collision, because that isn't a place you would usually have a spin on your own. That looks like it's been a collision of some sort. Having said that, Casey Bernard is trying to go round the outside there, but he had to think better of it. Now, there's an interesting little graphic has come up, the black and white warning sign. It's come up beside T-Smith. Now, why has that come up? Is that a new thing with the update? That's something to have a look at. Not sure why that's come up yet. As VRER Kelvin is going... He's went round the outside at turn 1 of the Haas man, Tom. Tom is going to get a good exit though, and he's going to try and re-overtake round the outside. Casey Bernard in the background, you can see he's fighting with Catamese. Great camera angle as Tom goes back round the outside and re-overtakes him. Catamese has picked up that. Right, that's interesting. Now, what that is that's a penalty sign. Now, basically, that's usually the warning sign, but basically that means as far as I'm aware now, that means there's going to be there's a penalty applied. So that helps us out a lot more. Says me looking at the race director. So that's what that means as far as I'm aware. City Posh Blue, right on the back of the other Alpha. Wesker. Scuba is still not managed to overtake Lennon yet. VER Kelvin got back past Tom. Now Tom's going to try as I go nearly side by side again. Good old battle. This has been a couple of overtakes with him. Pendle's saying is Aaron doing a Bottas. Aaron's having a meltdown at the moment. I don't know if his controller is stuck or if it's just a new glitch that's come out, but it's completely stuck on. Quite a few pit stops there. Scuba going for the undercut by the looks of it on Lennon, but Corboy now from 15th with all those pit stops is now up to P4. What a blooming start to the race it is for him. Now Kieran Trapp is P2 at the moment. He's closing into the back of Lennon. That was after Lennon and Scuba had that bit of a battle, and the guys behind him started closing in quite quickly. Very respectful for that battle though. So Catamese picked up a penalty, but he's still on the back of Casey Bernard, and these have had quite a few battles. We've seen it in the background when we were watching the battle between Kelvin and Tom, and they're still very closely together on track. One on the hards, one on the softs. Casey Bernard, so 4 soft runners from the start that haven't pitted yet, the front 3, and then the man who's at the front of this little battle, Casey Bernard. Aaron Bottas. I don't know if that's got the same ring to it, to be honest. Aaron Bottas. Valtteri Taylor, maybe? I think that has a better ring to it. Valtteri Taylor. Call him that. Catamese has been a bit of a newfound man recently though, since he's rejoined FTRL. Lennon and Kieran Trapp have competed. He's been a lot more sensible, a lot more reserved. So yes, Those guys have come into the pits, all three of them. So I'm imagining he's going to, he is as well. So everyone is now off of the soft tyres. Tom has dropped off a little bit from Kelvin. Kelvin has finally dispossessed Tom completely and is away. He is still within DRS range, but he has moved away a lot more in the last few laps. There's your daddy, 3-second time penalty. Max is also that. I got to admit, big fan of that on the left. I don't know if anyone else in the chat wants to make a point about that, but that is I like that. Now the question is, if any of them gets another penalty, is it going to add another little warning sign? That's quite a little smart idea, I think, by Codemasters. I like that. Now, big old battle here. 4 cars. All of these have pitted, and Max has jumped Lennon. Lennon though has DRS. Who's that? That's Wesker in the background. No, it's not Wesker. That's City Boys Blue in the background. And it had that big squirm there on the power. Kieran at the lead of this train leads from Max. So Kieran has jumped all of them, Max and Lennon. Lennon has jumped Max. Max has jumped Lennon, sorry. So a bit of jumbling up of the order and the pit stops. Scuba's jumped them all though with that early pit stop doing the undercut. Max has got a penalty as well, as you can see on the left, so it might affect him, but Scuba actually is right on the back of Katamis. He's not close enough though. Lennon having Max having a look at Kieran. Lennon sticks behind him. Wesker drops off slightly at the back of this, but he's within touching distance. There's Kelvin picking his first penalty up. He's in P2 at the moment, but they haven't stopped. The front 6 all haven't stopped. TTG Callboy down to Katamis, but Katamis has now just been overtaken by Scuba. I think that's just at the end of Sector 1, by the looks of it. Got that move done, so Scuba in prime position at the moment for the lead, as Lennon has got back past Max. Just on board with that, Max is still just about there. Lennon, no, completes the move down into the downhill left-hander, so there we go. Lennon up into P9, back past the man he was in front of for the first 8 laps of this race. But lap 9 got straight back past him after he overtook him under the pit stops. So good, important move that from Lennon. Wesker P11. He is right at the back of this little train. Hunting down Max there, the Belgian. Gary's P13. We've got Casey Barr P14. Aaron overtake is still stuck. Now he's just going to race to the end with that, but as you can see, the green little light shows that it's on still. Cowboy is the first to pit. He's went 9 laps, on those tyres. The hard runners of Bread, Matt Mann and Katamis I'd expect to go a bit further. Quite a few people setting fastest laps there. I think Kieran set the fastest lap. He got past Katamis, so he set a fastest lap, and then Casey Bernard set a fastest lap as well, as he just set a fastest sector run. So everyone on those fresh medium tyres quickly improving. It's definitely going to be a 2-stop for all those guys who have just pitted. Pitted from the soft and the mediums. They're going to be going back on the, I imagine probably the mediums again, possibly towards the end. Someone might try to put the softs on towards the end, but they're all going to have to do another pit stop. There's no way they'll get to the end on those mediums. But Cowboy has pitted and put on another set of mediums. He's definitely doing the 2-stop as well. So it looks like the 2-stop is, everyone's doing the 2-stop here. Doesn't look like there's going to be anyone doing the 1-stop. Max and Lennon on the back of Katamis, who's a cork in the bottle at the moment on the hard tyres, 9-lap-old hards. Lennon, the only one of these 3 who haven't picked up a penalty. Had a little bit of a look down the inside. It's going to be a very easy overtake though. Watch for Max though. I think Max might try and get an overtake done here on Katamis as well, as Lennon goes down the inside. I don't think Katamis should defend this, to be fair. This is not his race at the moment, and he doesn't, I don't think. Keeps to the outside. Katamis though has a squirm on exit. Max didn't touch him there at all. It was Katamis just on those slightly more worn tyres. Had a moment on acceleration, and that's dropped him behind Max. So easy move from Max, and he's actually went wide as well, which is going to allow Wesker down the inside as well. Katamis not had a good few corners, so we still have 2 corners, and he's lost 3 places as Aaron has just retired, and that is T. Smith has just went past him. It looks like it's just at the kink, just as it's starting the straight. I'm not sure if he's just retired because his car is, as there's a virtual safety car out. That's if it lasts. Kelvin's coming round the final corner now. He could get a bit of a. It's not a free pit stop, but it's a drastically reduced pit stop time. And it's the right time for kind of him and Tom to go in. Bridger Daddy and Matman could as well, but Kelvin possibly sensible to come in now. He's coming round, but he's not. He's not. Now, I thought he would come in there. Tom is though. And I think that's a smart decision from Tom. It's going to be a big reduce. Red is carrying on, Matman's carrying on, but that's a good call from Tom. Virtual safety car is still out, so he's got nearly a free pit stop. It's basically half the time. Aaron said his ER stuck on overtake. The second I got on the throttle, the car just spun and it gave way on slightly worn tyres. Yes. Oh, City Boss blew. No. Oh, we knew. We said it. We said he's got the pace in the car, but it's just these little errors that he keeps doing, and that's just ruined his race. That's it's not going to be good. He kind of needs a safety car now to get him back in. But good decision from Tom there. He's come out in P12 on the hard tyres, but that's been a nice little pit stop advantage for him there. Scuba P4, still the net race leader in terms of guys that have done a pit stop. Kieran P5 and the Ferrari behind him, who has closed in for us. We did see he did the fastest lap, and he was swapping a few fastest laps with Casey Bernard, who's down in P13. So we saw he had the pace, and he seems to have gained a little bit more, and that's basically put him within touching distance as he nearly taps the back of the Williams man of Scuba. So that was close. Matman is another cork in the bottle now. He's still on those hard tyres that he started the race on. He started these. He's now done, as you can see, 12 laps. Oh no, it's been 12 laps so far. He's into lap 13. Scuba easy move down the inside, walks forward, and Kieran Trapp follows through as well. Matman stays well out of the way, doesn't want to get involved, and I think that's going to allow Lennon to have a run on him as well. As you can see, Lennon quickly closing in. He's going to go down the inside. Matman once again gives him the room. Lennon steams down the inside on fresh tyres, and Lennon up to P5. Matman down from P3 to P6 in space of a few corners as well. So it works around here. DRS straights in a row, basically. Matman seems to be really struggling though, as Max Def tries to go round the outside, but Matman has that line. He's going to have to wait for the next DRS straight, which is just now. A fairly small one, but he might actually still get past. He's very close to him, and he thinks about a move down the inside, but backs out and waits for the next straight. Fairness though, Max is having a good run, and he's going to go all the way around the outside. I think Matman has lifted off there and let him go. Max up to P6. So all these guys making our way back up. As VER Kelvin leads the race for the time being on the mediums he started the race on. Brescia Daddy and P2, both of these guys picked up a penalty. Scuba first, the guys that are pitted, followed very, very closely by Kieran Trapp, who has DRS and is going to go down the inside in the Ferrari. The Ferrari man down the inside. Scuba, is he going to try and hold it around the outside? He had a look at trying to hold it, but he didn't have the best run. Kieran Trapp though had a bit of a compromised run, and that's allowed Scuba back down the inside. Scuba though thinks better of it. He thought we were going down the inside, but then pulled back in behind and lets Kieran Trapp have the position. So Man P8 hard tyres, and he needs to come in, so he's dropped another position to Wesker, who's moved up to P7 in the Alpha. City Posh Blue is way down the order now. I think he's served his driver already. Katamise is right on the back of him as well. So, as I just say that, Katamise is actually going down. He's not actually going down the inside. I think City Posh Blue might have let him go there. There was a massive overspeed. T Smith was down the back as well. He's not had a good race so far. But when are these front two going to come in and release Kieran behind? Who is that? Is City Posh, isn't it? That is City Posh's. Where is that? Oh, that's at the end of Sector 1, just at the S's at the beginning of Sector 2. Max has picked up another 3-second penalty, so it's on for a good race so far, but he's picked up another penalty. It's not been a good race now for him whatsoever, City Posh. Shame. Lennon on the back of Scuba, who's on the back of Kieran. The front three met front three in close proximity to each other. So come through turn 2. Closing into the back of Brezio Daddy, who started right at the very back of the field, still on hard tyres that he started the race on. But longer race stays out. If he manages to stay a little bit longer, he should be able to do the one stop and go on the mediums. Now it looks like Man, Kelvin and Brezio Daddy are the only 3 that has the possibility of doing that. Everyone else is 100% on the 2-stop. Kieran is still closing in pretty quickly now, kind of 1.3, and he's been closely followed by the man who just overtook Scuba, who's in the Williams. He's having that monster race. Lennon's having a solid race as well. Very composed, these 3. At the moment, Max is 3 seconds behind. He's having a bit of a dodgy few laps. He's dropped quite quickly off the back, and he's now under threat from Wesker, and he's picked up another 3-second penalty. So he's got 2 3-second penalties, and it didn't come up with another one. So basically, that little symbol on the right of the standings, as it stands, just tells you that they have a penalty. It doesn't tell you how many. So. Wesker doesn't manage to get past, but as you can see, Kieran Trapp is right on the back of Brezio Daddy. And will he think of a move, maybe? He holds it round the outside. He's got all the way around the outside. He's going to do it. He's done it. What a move from Kieran Trapp. And I think Scuba is going to try and go down the inside as well. Has to back out though at the last second. Now Scuba, very important. He gets a move on now. He needs to get past him as quick as possible. He's going to try and go round the outside of Brezio Daddy. Oh, Brezio Daddy puts right in front of him. Now Scuba switches to the inside. Brezio Daddy gives him both the place. Brezio Daddy's literally just let them go there. Lennon though is gonna. Oh, Brezio Daddy in the background had a bit of a moment on the curb on the exit of that tricky corner. Now Scuba's slightly outside a DRS range, which is it's not going to help him because it's going to allow Lennon to get the DRS on him, and with Scuba not having any, it could be an easy move at the next straight. So having led the race at the early stages, it looks like he's going to go down to a net P3. Kelvin still continues on the medium tyres. Now that's very impressive. Now Corboy pitted after 9 laps. Corboy pitted after. And he's still going, and he's carrying on for another lap at least, so he's definitely going for the 2-stop. The 1-stop, sorry, if he can. Brezio Daddy pits, so that allows Wesker up and Matman up. Matman still, there's only 2 drivers now that haven't pitted yet. This man out in front who's doing a solid job out front. Scuba's back within DRS range of Kieran, which is important for him. These 3 all on the medium tyres. Max is beginning to close slightly back in. I think that might have just been because of the traffic at Brezio Daddy. Cause being on those hard tyres for a little bit longer. Man P7, he'll be in shortly. We got Corboy P8, and he pitted pretty early as well. Off of those. Oh, back on board with that. Katamise It's been overtook here by, I think, Breja Daddy, who's come out of the pits directly in front of him, but Katamiz is right on the tail of him, and very wide there on the exit. Pagani and City Posh having a bit of a battle down the back of the field. I think Pagani's slightly getting away there. Both on the medium tyres. Pagani though is on fresh mediums, so I think he might get away from City Posh. We had that drive through penalty and he's cut that inside the corner, so that's going to be a warning. Casey Bernard is in P10. Wesker though gets past Max Deff, who's pitted for his second pit stop, and Macman comes in as well, and he's got a 5-second penalty for speeding on the pit lane entry. Kelvin has picked up a penalty as well, remember, so but he's I mean, Kieran is closing, but not as quickly as you might expect someone who's on 8-lap fresher mediums to be gaining, to be fair. And if these are both, if Kelvin is going to do one more stop and put on the soft tyres, now they really got to move on, because Kelvin really could win this race here. Because of the situation he's in, they've all got one stop left. The City Posh got back past Pagani, by the looks of it, but they're both coming from the pits. Now Pagani's back past City Posh. So they're going to have to get past Kelvin, because I think they both get one stop left. Now they are closing now, 4 seconds, under 4 seconds, so Kelvin's had a dodgy few corners out front. His tyres must be dead, but the thing is, how long can the softs go here? I mean, right at the start they were going 7 laps, but obviously towards the end, that was tyres they had done the fastest lap of the race on. Now he is coming in. Now the question is he going to put the softs on, and can this... I think the softs will be able to go to them, but they might just be a little bit dodgy towards the end, as the other three have come in as well. But I think all these are going to put on mediums, bar Kelvin maybe. Kelvin's put on softs. Now what does Scuba put on? Scuba is putting on mediums. Breja Daddy is coming in. No, he's not coming in. He's carrying on. Now, interesting. Kelvin puts on the soft. Scuba and Kieran on the mediums. Now, that's released Lennon for the lead of the race at the moment. He's not went for his next stop. Now he's going to... If he can extend this a little bit longer, he might be able to put on the softs. But Kelvin, I mean, he has got good tyre wear, so he's confident he can get those softs to the end. Now Scuba, it doesn't have as good tyre wear, but obviously that McLaren Kelvin seems to be pretty good on its tyres at the moment, so he's confident enough that he can get to the end on those, while the other guys cap behind. Now, if he can, he has got a penalty, remember. But if all of these guys in front have to go to the end, although in fairness Tom won't. Now, Tom is I think Tom might actually be in the net race lead, because the 4 guys ahead of him will definitely have to pit again. Well, actually, Cowboy might... Oh, see... Cowboy might be able to go to them, but it'd be a brave decision. Actually, no, he can't, actually. He started on the medium, so he needs to run another tyre compound, so Cowboy will be in again, so the front 4 will have to come in again. Tom is going to be the first man that can go to the end, as Wesker comes in. So, this is an interesting one here. We've got Tom, Kelvin, Scuba, Kieran, Lennon. And those are kind of the 5 in with a shout of winning. As he goes down the inside, already Kelvin on Tom. So Tom, I think, is a very little chance of winning this race on those worn hard tyres, and he's been very, very quickly overtaken there. So this is it's gonna get interesting towards the end of the race here. Who is gonna be able to catch Kelvin, if anyone? I mean, Kelvin has got a penalty, but I think it's only 1, and to be honest, I don't think Scuba's going to get within 3 seconds on him towards the end of the race. We never know, he might. Depends how quick Kelvin is on these new softs. He needs to get a move on. There's a bit of a battle going down at the back of the field. Pagani and T. Smith and City Posh Blue having a freeway battle. These will all be in a party to cars. He's probably... That is a yellow flag. Oh, it's Tom in the background of this. Oh, he span. I must have missed that. Tom is span. Oh, Pagani. Oh, it's Pagani tapped him. Something. It's Pagani hit him. City Posh Blue is ahead of him. Little T Smith had a spin, but Pagani eased off a bit there. Casey Bernard pits, so there we go. Kelvin sets his fast lap of the race, 30.3. As Lennon pits as well. There's another yellow flag in sector 2. That's still for the same battle at the back of the field. Now that releases Kelvin into the lead of the race. Tom's in P2. Scuba needs to really quickly get past Tom in front of him. If he wants any chance of winning this race, he needs to get past him pretty quickly at that. We'll see if he's able to do that. He's not able to yet. Wesker and Katamis going at it. Wesker gets past Katamis. Wesker's come back out on P8 and he's on soft tyres. He's got Brezhnev Daddy who has a penalty ahead of him on the mediums. It's Lennon just in front of that, who has just got past Max Def. That cross saying so Aaron's basically where you'd expect him not racing. Yeah, he's had a bit of an ERS glitch. I'm afraid. Yes, that's what's happened to him. Kieran is right on the back of Tom. As there's another yellow flag set to 162, and that's Tom. Again, these are just heading towards that as Kieran is going to try and get past Scuba as well. It might be a double overtake. Scuba has got the outside line. It seems to be a bit of a benefit at the moment. So this is really hindering the gap to Kelvin. It's back up over 3 seconds again. Lennon though gets past as well, Tom. And then Scuba and Kieran going at it. Still side by side to go. And Lennon's going to try and get in the mix as well. Lennon's trying to pop himself down the inside of Kieran. Kieran's going to try and still hold it down the inside as Lennon tries to have a look as well. It's going to go free wide for a second. Oh, Kieran's had a bit of oversteer and he's tapped Lennon off. Which is going to allow Tom back past Lennon. And then Max. Oh, Lennon. Is that Max? Max nearly span, I think, there. In the background, he had a bit of contact with Lennon and nearly span. All heating up there at the end there. Look at this FTRL train here from P2 all the way down to P8. All of these guys are really close together. Oh, it's actually 7 cars. I'm mistaken. Leading at the head of the queue is Scuba. It's VAR Kelvin has absolutely flew away. That one-stop strategy of his is really working for him at the moment. Kieran, it's going to go free wide. Lennon down the inside, Scuba down in the middle. Kelvin on the out. Kieran on the outside. Kieran's going to have the place, I think. Oh, very good racing by all three of them there. Lennon though gets ahead of Kieran now. So Kieran actually technically has maintained position, and Scuba and Lennon are swap places basically at the end of that. So Scuba loses the 2 places, Lennon jumps the 2 places. And Lennon up into P2. Now Lennon put on the soft tyres as well, so, and he's not got a penalty, so if he can close the gap to Kelvin, then it will be Lennon's race possibility, chance to win. So he has got a penalty, Kelvin. Oh, virtual safety car. Steve Smith has retired. So that is going to be a virtual safety car for a little period of this race, which just evens the race out. Hopefully no one speeds under the safety car. That'd be horrendous for later for it to be decided. But Kelvin has got a penalty of 3 seconds. Lennon doesn't, so he needs to get within 3 seconds of Kelvin and then we'll have won the race. Virtual safety car still out. It'll probably end in about 10-15 seconds. City Boys Blue and Pagani both come into the pits, and they're going to get lapped by the looks of it from Kelvin. Max has got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the pit lane. Speeding under the pit lane, speeding under the virtual safety car. Sorry, we didn't mention it. As City Boys Blue and Pagani, I think, getting out of the way a bit of everyone. So, here we go. Lennon has got 1.7 seconds to make up on Kelvin behind. We get Lennon closing slightly, gained a 10 for 2 in this lap so far. Scuba in a second. Kieran, Max is going to have a drive-through penalty. Unlucky for him. Westgar's on the soft tyres as well, so Westgar's looking good for a possible podium here. If he can quickly dispossess him, he's going to have the advantage over Scuba and possibly Kieran as well. So he could be in for a shout of a podium if he can get past cars ahead. Max will be coming in soon though for his drive-through anyway. Tom in the background of this is still sticking with Breasure Daddy, but he's on 11 lap old hards. That gap is closing out front. It's down to 3.5. Lennon can sense a race victory here. Just needs to keep it clean as he goes and sets the fastest lap of the race. He's flying at the moment. Lennon. Is Lennon going to take his first victory in quite a long time, I think? Max has been overtook here by Wesker. He's not coming into the pits for his drive-through yet. But Wesker moves up, so it's Wesker who's on the charge at the moment. Max is, I'm going to look back down the inside. I think it's better of it. Scuba still found a second of Kieran, but Wesker's found a second of Scuba, so they're all getting DRS off each other. Kieran's dropping off massively from the back of Lennon, and Lennon is closing very quickly. Lennon could win this on track. Never mind with penalty situation, the way he's closing in, it's now 2.4 seconds. I did say I think it might have been a little bit of an audacious try by Kelvin to try and get these softs to the end. They're going to be really warm by the end. Lennon pitted 2 laps later than him, because Scuba pitted the same, I think it was the same lap or the lap after Kelvin. But they put on the mediums, Kelvin put on the soft. So Wesker pitted in the lap in between Lennon and Kelvin. So Kelvin was a bit audacious with how long he thought he could go on the soft tyres. He might come to regret that near the end of the race here. Max Steph isn't letting Wesker get away from him in fairness, but Wesker's still found DRS as Max is having to pit now for his drive-through. Lennon still closing down to 2.2 seconds. Bridget Daddy moves up as well, up into P6 as Max Steph does his drive-through. Scuba still within touching distance of Kieran here. Wesker closing in the background on the soft tyre. The advantage of being on the soft tyre will start to go now though. As you get towards these last few laps, the mediums will start to have maybe a tiny bit more advantage. A little bit more grip on it. As the grip reduces on the soft tyre. Kieran is dropped massively off the back now. The front too. As Lennon closes that gap to about 1.5 seconds. 3.5 laps to go. Keep an eye on this battle though for P3. Can the Williams man Scuba get on the podium? Be a hell of an achievement. He's not close enough though yet, I don't think. He has got a fair amount of overtaking to us. A lot more than Kieran actually, so Scuba's in a very good position here. So that's a very, very solid position that Scuba's in terms of his ERS. Big advantage over Kieran, and he's using it. He is using it. He's just not close enough. He did use a bit of it there, and he's going to have the DRS once again on Kieran. Wesker's just within DRS, but I think his soft tyres is just a little bit giving up on him as Scuba goes down the inside of Kieran. Kieran gives him the room, has the outside line though, and holds the position. Scuba having to sit back and wait so far. Lennon though closing in. Is he gonna take the race win on paper as well on the track, as City Post Blue has went wide? I'm not sure if he's just letting... He might just be letting the guys through in this battle. Wesker closes in a little bit more though. The back, he's moved a little bit closer. Oh! Lennon's disconnected. Oh no! Lennon's disconnected. He needs to get in quickly. Oh, it's going to slip away from him. Oh, it's such a shame. Can he get back in as quickly as possible? It's lucky he's on a straight at the moment, so he's not losing too much. He needs to get back in though, as quick as. Come on, Lennon, get in. Get back in. Oh, he's losing time now. Lennon, no. Oh, it's a horrible way to lose a race. Scuba though, on DRS down the inside, he's absolutely steaming past him. We said how much of an advantage he had on his ERS situation. Lennon's outside that 3-second window. Kieran's going to try and do the switch back there. He's going to have the good position here to try and re-overtake. He's got the DRS. Scuba though defends nicely, holds the position. Kieran's still going to try though. Scuba's just in front. Kieran's going to try and find a way through, but I don't think there's going to be anywhere to go there. It's not close enough. Lennon hasn't rejoined yet. He could end up losing a podium here at this rate. Is he going to rejoin soon? That's such a shame. He's driven pretty impeccably this race, and it's very likely that he's lost it with a disconnect, sadly. And Scuba though holding now that podium place. Wesker still within touching distance of Kieran. Kieran having a very good run on Scuba though through that penultimate corner as they're closing in the back of Lennon's car with a lap to go for these few. Kelvin starts the last lap of the race. Lennon comes into the pits. His ghost car, so that gives Scuba P2 and Kieran P3. So these three have the podium. Will Wesker try and move? None of these three have penalties. Kelvin, I think, just has one penalty, so I think that Kelvin will win the race. Scuba going very defensive there on the run down to turn 4. Such a shame for Lennon. Definitely was on course for winning that. He had a penalty. Kieran has went wide there, I think. He's managed to keep it on the track though. Gonna have a DRS straight to go here, but I think Kieran's a little bit too far back, so it looks like Scuba is gonna get P2. In fairness though, Kelvin is really struggling in the last few laps of the race. I don't think he's gotten a penalty, but I'm not entirely sure. But he really is struggling. Scuba's beginning to close a bit now on him. I think those Taz have given up. This is a battle in the background as well, I think, here between Corboy. There is Corboy, Katamise and Bernard. Katamise at the lead of this. But he comes round the final few corners. Katamise has went wide, I think, there actually round the outside, but Kelvin takes the race victory. Very, very good performance from him. Scuba does take P2, Kieran Trapp takes P3, Wesker takes P4, and you got Brezer Daddy in P5. Tom Duval is going to take P6, and Corboy in P7. Katamise did go wide. Casey Bernard is going to take P8, Katamise is going to take P9, Max Teff is going to take P10, I think. You got Lennon, Ghost Car there at the back, coming through now. Got Matman and City Posh is going to be... City Posh has got half a wing. he the final corner? No, he's not. Actually, yeah, he is. Thank God. City Posh comes across the line, but great performance from Kelvin to take the race victory. Scuba with a fantastic performance to take P2 in the Williams. Now that's no mean feat. That's pretty much going to be guaranteed, I think, him being in the Williams again next week, though. Performance like that. And P3 is took by Kieran Trapp. P4 Wesker. Well, there we go for round 1. So Kelvin takes the race win from 14th on the grid, so the one stop really worked there. You can see Brejadadi got P5 as well from back of the grid. We see him have a instant qualifying. And both Haas guys in P6 and P7 who also started outside the top 10, so the one stop definitely looks like there was the way to go, put it that way. Scuba though with an excellent result in P2 in the Williams. Kieran Trapp takes P3, Wesker P4, Bred, then Tom, Cowboy P7, Bernard, Catamise, Lennon, Max, Matman, Pagani, City Posh, T Smith, and Aaron. That sadly had that ERS glitch as well. But that rounds out the action for race 1. Obviously, we are busy every single day of the week for the time being on FTRL. So tomorrow, got Div 1 coming from Baku. Leo will be on comms for that. And Div 2 on Wednesday, also from Baku. You've got Aaron and me again for that. Then we've got GT starting back up on Thursday, Friday. So GT2 starts on Thursday, coming from Maggiore, and the same for Friday for GT1 with the return of the manufacturer series with a couple of little differences, a couple of little set changes, but back to normal with the manufacturer series. So Baku tomorrow and Wednesday. Next week for performance, we're coming to you from Canada, so at the street circuit there. So we've got the Wall of Champions to deal with next week. Penalties galore, I imagine, next week, so hopefully you'll join me for that. But thank you very much for joining me for this evening, and have a nice night.